super exciting seeing Shutout Academy turning pro goalies, hearing from some of you who are getting back on the ice. And the goalies in Shutout Academy and turning pro, they're actually feeling really good. So it's cool to see, you know, them just be shocked at how well they're feeling and moving out on the ice. But even some of them are feeling it a little bit in their hips, because our hips, or your hips, can do what they need to do because there's a continual stimulus and they're adapting to those demands. It's that, you know, principle of specific adaptation to impose demands. And so once we take away those imposed demands, we start to lose those adaptations and we adapt to other things we do, which lately for a lot of us has been, you know, sitting behind a desk or sitting in a chair or sitting gaming or whatever it is we're doing. Even if we're out biking and running, we're not sort of going into the butterfly and the RVH and getting into those patterns. So you will have lost some of those patterns without realizing it. And then you're going to get out on the ice and go and smash into your butterfly thing, you know, because you're going to be so excited as well, and coaches are going to be excited, and maybe your league's just going to start up from nothing, and you won't have time to really get used to it. So what I want you to do is follow this progression before you get back on the ice, so that we can sort of mitigate some of those injuries that are going to happen. You'll all like this one. Step one is to put on your knee pads if you wear them. If you don't wear them, you don't have to put them on. Your knee pads and your leg pads. We're not going to put on our skates. Everybody's carpet would be shredded to ribbons. Oh, it feels so good just putting the stuff on. Now you don't have to wear your toe ties, and a lot of you won't work. I use these pro laces, so all I do, it does sort of help my pads rotate with me a little bit, is I just put them through that, you know, bottom sort of lace on my shoes, and then I just wrapped it underneath, and then just a little bit of overlap there, just like that. The heel strap I'm not using at all. So I just got my knee pads and my goalie pads on, and then we're gonna start just from a half kneeling position, just doing like a knee drop, back up, knee drop, back up. And I know that my hips are moving. Again, I'm not trying to crush myself or, you know, see what I have to do to make my hips sore. I'm trying to prevent them from getting sore and just getting a sense, hey, what does that feel like when I do sort of these alternating knee drops. Speed isn't what I'm worried about. We're just trying to get reacquainted with our goalie hips. And we're trying to get reacquainted without wearing out our welcome. So we'll do about 4 to 5 on each side just to say hello. Then from your butterfly, you're gonna go into a little RVH. So you'll keep this flare here. Boom, you'll come over, you'll get a little lean into the post there, and then you'll come back out of it into your butterfly. Then we'll go to the other side, extending here, a little sort of push out here, leaning into your post, trying to keep, you know, that pretty wide flare on the butterfly. And again, you'll do 4 to 5 each way. Now we'll go from the standing position. So get a fairly low stance. And again, you're not dropping down, you're controlling it down. So we're going to get a knee drop, knee drop. So some alternate sort of VH position or RVH position, whichever way you think of it. So about 4 to 5 each way. And that one, I am trying to keep my pelvis pretty square ahead. I don't want to, you know, be teaching myself bad habits or using patterns that I wouldn't use on the ice. From here, we're going to drop into that, boom, and then go RVH again, trying to get that shoulder into the post, back up, recover out of it, come down, glide over into this RVH, and you might feel a side-to-side difference. It might be the same side-to-side difference you feel on the ice where you're like, oh yeah, I know that. And then we'll come out of it again. Again, about 4 each way on that, and just that speed that I'm going. From there, we're gonna add some combinations. So if we come down and we're in this RVH, we're gonna pop up, a little lateral hop over, this knee down and into this RVH. And then we'll pop up, a little lateral push over, back down into this RVH. Maybe we'll come from our skates, we'll do a push across to our post. We'll get on that post, see what's going on behind the net. Maybe we'll come down into our VH or into your RVH pattern here, then maybe into your butterfly. RVH over this side, a quick recovery, a push back, and maybe now we're right back on our post where we started. So now here's the doozy. This is the one you've all been wondering about. Is she gonna go into her butterfly? Is she gonna come out of her butterfly with 2 feet? Yes, because we're going to keep the volume so low. Plus, the fact that I don't have my skates on does take some of the torque off my knees. I'm not going to do this as slow as I can. I'm not going to do this with external load. I just want to get a sense of the pattern. So again, pretty wide, like this is a very wide stance on the ice, but you're going to come down, and I didn't plop, I didn't smash, I just kind of brought my knees down to meet the floor, and then I'm going to come back out again. I'll come down to meet, come back out again. And 4 reps max. We're not trying to train off the ice. We're not trying to work on your stamina or your speed, anything like that. We're trying to go through some specific patterns with the geometry of our pads in place. And again, this is going to be easier than once you're on the ice with your skates, because your skates add height. Anytime you add height to the lever, you add torque to the joint. So keep that in mind. This is sort of the easy reader version of testing out how things will feel. When you get on the ice, you should go through a similar progression if you can before you really start smashing around at full speed. But see how it feels. If you've been doing Shutout Academy or Turning Pro, just do this once or twice before you go on the ice. You're going to be fine because you've been working that specific mobility and we've been working specific movement patterns in your training, but I just still want you to get a feel for having the gear on. If you haven't been doing one of those goalie specific off-ice programs, then you should probably start adding this 2 to 3 times a week to your routine so that you're ready when you go on the ice. The other big bang must do before you get on the ice, if you haven't been using a goalie specific keyword dynamic warm-up before you go out on the ice in the past, now is the time you better start using it, because you're going to get in trouble otherwise. So trouble from me. Right to the principal's office, you're going to be in big trouble. So I will maybe magically make it appear on the screen somewhere. If not, make it unmagically appear in the description box. A link to a very quick but very effective off-ice warm-up that you should be doing anyway before each time on the ice. Now is the time when you smash the like button, you subscribe. If you've subscribed, hit the bell so you know about videos before your goalie partner does, and then you'll look like the smart one and the good one out on the ice. Otherwise, let me know if you've been on the ice, or if you're getting back on the ice, or maybe you've been on the ice. Let me know how it's felt, any issues that you've had. Just tell us about it. It's getting exciting, and those of us that aren't there yet, it's hard, but it's nice to hear other people are getting out. So we'd love to hear about it. Just leave that in the comment section below. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Feels so good. Reunited, and it feels so good. I've got a bonus tip for you as well, and this is particularly for the goalies who are in the Shutout Academy or Turning Pro. When you do get back on the ice, your touch is going to be way off. What I mean by that is you're going to push the way you used to push with the intensity you used to use, to get from point A to point B, and you're going to end up at point W, somewhere near the bottom of the circles. Because honestly, this time at home has forced you to focus on developing the mobility, the stability, the strength, the speed that you need on the ice, and it's going to be there for you in spades. So you're going to be shooting all over the place. You're going to be over pushing pucks like crazy. Don't worry. It's a good problem to have. You'll learn to adjust. You'll learn that what used to take sort of a 90% of a maximum push, now you can cover that distance and that speed with like a 30% effort. So you're going to be using less energy, which is part of what lets you be more patient, so that you're still can give a quicker impulse and still beat the pass and be set for the shot. But at first it might be a little alarming. Don't worry. It's okay. See ya! And they're streaking down the wing. Mountain pulls. The 2-pad stack. What a save. Fish back. Ready for the rebound. Are you still here? I was just showing Paul something. Never mind.